Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Okay, let's face it folks, a decent number of us grew up with the GameCube version. It's not a perfect port, but it has some incredible additions.
So let's get the show on the road!
As for the game as a whole, Dreamcast and onwards, there's a reason why this is among my top 3 favorite games of all time, sitting comfortably next to Batman Arkham Knight and Red Dead Redemption 2. And that's even when putting my nostalgia aside for reference. It's essentially a perfect storm of everything I loved about Sonic growing up. The storyline is as complex and engaging as the previous, the voice actors I love are back.
Inside that pyramid?
What's Rouge up to anyway?
The stage design and soundtrack are masterful, and it's loaded with enough content to keep you enjoying the ride long after completing the story. It's also easily the first game I ever cried playing. In fact, I'd honestly be perfectly comfortable with the game pulling a Force Unleashed 2 and making it so Shadow from this game really died, and the Shadow we've seen since is a clone. I guess we can blame Sonic the Hedgehog for that missed opportunity, among other things.
What I said about having created you, it was all a lie. You really are the ultimate life form my grandfather created.
Sure, Jill may have attempted to blow the entire planet to pieces as revenge against humanity, but I sure am glad the game wanted us to side with him anyway. I might be getting a little ahead of myself.
No shit!
It's honestly hard to know where to begin with how great this game is, but let's start with what's possibly the most impressive aspect about it. The moral of the story, and I'm talking about the execution as much as the moral itself. So, have you ever needed to be convinced that, even though there are some dark and awful qualities about humanity, there's value in everything, including your own species, and that you should always try to stay optimistic? Well, try explaining that to an 8-year-old and see how well they understand it. Now, there have been many series in the past that have tried teaching very similar morals to this, and let's just say they did so in a questionable way. For instance, take the series finale of the TV show Dinosaurs. Everyone died at the end because they permanently damaged the Earth's climate. Jesus!
Well, little guy, what happened was... Daddy was put in charge of the world, and he didn't take real good care of it. And now it looks like there won't be much of a world left for you or your brother and sister to live in.
Are we gonna move?
Well, no. There's no place to move to. This is the only world we got.
And taking a look at the long-range forecast, continued snow, darkness, and extreme cold. This is Howard Handupme. Good night. Goodbye.
Now, really try thinking about this for a second. Sonic Adventure 2 taught what was arguably just as powerful a lesson in the last story, albeit a significantly more optimistic and, less bleak lesson, shall we say? And somehow did it in a way that little kids can digest. It kind of works.
I know that people fight over the most trivial things. Some people may be selfish, like the professor said. But they're basically good if they try their best and never give up on their wishes. They always have a reason to be happy. That's why you should help them out. Saving them is a good thing.
Call the execution corny, but they still managed it. It starts with a brilliant scientist's gradual descent into insanity and nihilism, becomes a commentary on the value of humanity, and ends like a Shakespearean tragedy. And this isn't a Sonic the Hedgehog game, for Christ's sake.
Let's get to work!
Contrary to popular belief, the game doesn't try to be overly dark or overly serious either. Trust me, we can leave that up to Sonic 06 and the Storybook series.
You suck!
This game, though, has a perfect balance of different tones and attitudes, starting with a positive, energetic music track like Escape from the City, and ending with a thoughtful, optimistic rock ballad like Livin' Long. Sometimes it's emotional, and other times it's just a really fun, positive, adrenaline-fueled platformer.
I like the way you think.
Now, there are a few things regarding voice actors that I'd like to cover before moving on. I've only brought up Sonic's voice actors so far, and considering that this is the first game to feature Knuckles' voice actor from Sonic Heroes, as well as the debut appearance of both Shadow and Rouge, this is a good spot to discuss the other characters' voice actors. Whereas Knuckles' Sonic Adventure 2 voice stands out the most to me, I don't have a very strong preference when it comes to Tails' voice actors over the years, since they all seem to fit his identity as a young, budding sidekick and techie. And no, any problems with him in the modern era are unrelated to his voice roles. It's Knuckles, Amy, and the other characters on the other hand, where I begin to have some, let's call them problems. Knuckles' voice actor in this game and Heroes is not only the best Knuckles voice actor, but among the best in these three games, period. His line delivery is so natural and so genuine that I can completely envision it coming out of a real person. Should magical rocks and anthropomorphic animals exist in the real world?
I did that to prevent the Master Emerald from being stolen, you idiot. If it's in pieces, I can restore it. And by the way, that's not your emerald.
What are we gonna do, Sonic?
No worries. We've got this one.
Okay, I guess Tails' voice in Heroes is pretty questionable. But whatever, the actor was just a kid. You won't be hearing me treating him like another Jake Lloyd anytime soon.
Oh man, poor kid.
That guy has definitely got some issues to work out.
Anyway, compare that to Dan Green 2 games later, with his unnatural line delivery and Jason Griffith's weird inflections, and it feels like a completely different character all of a sudden.
Yeah, let's do this! I'll crush that cosmic rock ball! I saw Eggman on the outskirts of the city. He wanted me to give this to you. No! How can this be?
I'm sorry, Dan, and you know what? You might be a really good guy in real life for all I know, but I always get worried whenever a voice actor from my favorite series stars in a hand. Well, I know what line is going to be used to censor that word from now on.
Remlazar just sounds like an anagram. I'm just saying.
It does.
It means something sickening.
And now, on to Amy. Like the other characters, I grew up enjoying Amy as a character with several different traits. Is she cute? Yeah, but her personality goes beyond that in a way that Cream's never did. Hence why I never really cared about Cream.
You suck!
Laugh it up, Fuzzball. She's sassy, and she has a hot temper that fires off when she isn't heard out. More than anything, she wants to be one of the good guys and play a major role in the battle, which is hard for Sonic and friends to accept, given the fact that she's a little annoying. While I personally love her modern voice actress for capturing all of these qualities, as well as portraying her character development perfectly,
That was a cakewalk!
I don't know why I was even worried.
no one has done it quite as well as her Dreamcast era voice actress. Plenty of cuteness there, but plenty of the girly attitude too.
Just watch me. I'll make that Sonic respect me. And by that time, it's gonna be too late. If I tell ya, will you marry me?
No way!
I thought I had you this time. Gotcha, my darling Sonic.
Amy, what are you doing here?
Sonic, this time there's no way out of marrying me.
See, isn't she Wait, what? Oh well, I'm sure she was just joking about that. Anywho, compare that to her grungy anime-era voice actress, and I'll give her this, she certainly nails the cute side of her personality.
Good job, Shadow! I feel bad for those poor kids. Tell me, what's happened to him? Please, tell me everything you know. Love changes everything. It feels like every little moment in your life is huge, doesn't it?
Shut up.
As for the remainder of her personality, she leaves a lot to be desired, and I need the Dreamcast and modern era balance to like Amy for being Amy. And now, let's move on to Shadows. Oh boy, you know how I quoted Jay by saying that casting can make or break the final product, as well as saying that it can also ruin character portrayals? Well, Shadow is very possibly the living embodiment of that philosophy, as I technically haven't seen the Shadow I love since Sonic Heroes. I'm not sure if it was the broad line that Shadow the Hedgehog drew between a traumatized yet dedicated anti-hero and a foul-mouthed edgelord.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I.
But I distinctly recall Shadow swiftly transforming into a completely different character after Heroes. See, many Sonic fans have argued that he isn't just an edgelord, and there's a good reason for that, but probably not the one they're usually thinking of. Shadow was a fun character, and I don't mean fun in terms of how much destruction one hedgehog could cause either.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I.
Shadow had such a positive, confident side to him in both this game and Heroes, and that's why he's so willing to help at the end of both games. His voice actor in the Dreamcast era was David Humphrey, and he provided a perfectly balanced tone that can even be compared to Kevin Conroy as Batman. He selected just the right voice for multiple different sides of Shadow's character. Kevin Conroy picked a voice that fits Batman and Bruce Wayne equally, and David Humphrey picked a voice that suits Shadow's colder side and his lighthearted side just the same.
Here we go! Too easy for me. I'm the coolest.
Hope you can keep up with me.
Come on. Doesn't look like we'll be able to move on.
No problem. Let's get moving. Just watch this.
Billionaire, Vicky. Millionaires are so last year.
Where is he?
I got nothing to say to you, Batman.
Talk, or I'll crush every bone in your body.
Okay. He's working out of a penthouse in Chinatown. I swear that's all I know.
If you're lying, I'll break the other one.
Now, if you needed any explanation as to the direction he went after those games,
don't waste my time. You're going straight to hell. Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? With the power of these emeralds, I'm going to destroy this damn planet. I'll make you wish you'd never created, never show your face around me again. Anybody who gets in my way is my enemy. Damn, not here.
Death to all who oppose.
Shut up.
What happened to you, man? You devolved just like Dutch Vanderland and Jon Stewart. I mean, to be fair, he stopped cursing so much in Sonic 06 and onwards, but it was still never the same Shadow from Sonic Adventure 2 and Heroes. As even when talking or acting snarky.
This is just too easy. Guess it's my lucky day.
Should have hired some defense squads for the defense squad. Hey, Doctor.
It never comes off as charming as it does cold and sinister. David Humphrey gave Shadow that warmer side that made him feel less villainous. There was something positive and genuine about his Shadow, and that's been missing from the character since December of 2003. I've been at the acceptance stage of grief on that subject for a while now, though, since Who cares? I still have Sonic Adventure 2 and Heroes to play. In fact, speaking of Heroes... Wake up to